Ladies and gentlemen, I am currently standing in front of the vendor which today on my stream dropped, in my opinion, the craziest, just most broken roll on a semi-auto sniper for the Trickster in the Outriders demo. Like, there is nothing which I think in this game, as of right now, cuts anywhere near as close to it, to the amount of damage this thing can output. And of course, I'm talking about the Rising Tide automatic sniper rifle standard VAR, which dropped to me on my stream today from this very vendor that I'm standing in front of right here. If you guys don't already know, in the Outriders demo right now, it seems as though the only way, or at least the most efficient way of getting epics, is by doing the vendor farms every hour to check the item of the day. I'm gonna make a video on this very soon showing you guys the most efficient way to do this vendor farm, and of course why you want to do the vendor farm within the game. But this serves more as a video to show you guys some of the insane loot you can bag from it, because again, today I got what is just, in my opinion, the most broken, the most insane, just highest damage, boss wrecker, mob wrecker, just everything about this gun is absolutely nuts. Now, if we take a look at the weapon here with the inspect, you can see that it is indeed the ECAB ASR Rising Tide Epic Automatic Sniper Rifle, and it rolled with Shield Maiden. This is going to allow me to generate shield when I hit an enemy. So if you think of life steal, it's kind of like that, only in Outriders, Shield Maiden is life steal but for your shield, so you're going to generate shield which will totally negate damage. Now, if you mix that with the fact that I am playing on the Trickster right now, who is, of course, a character where when you get kills, you generate shield, I'm going to have shield like 99% of the time when I'm playing, which is just absolutely nuts. Like, I don't even have to tell you why that's good. Now, moving to the right of that mod, we have Grave Digger's Frenzy, and this is where the damage on this thing just goes completely to the moon, because Grave Digger's Frenzy makes it so that your critical shots increase your critical damage by 50% for 5 seconds. Now, it doesn't stop there, because if you look just above Grave Digger's Frenzy, you'll see that I also rolled the sniper with an insane passive crit damage, 11.9%. Not weapon leech, not anything like that. No, that's right, crit damage. And if we mix that with the fact that the VARs are rolling with, look at this, 300% crit multiplier, and then combine that with the 50% crit damage I'm getting with Grave Digger's Frenzy, I mean, this thing is really special. Going into the clip size, of course, it is one of these automatic snipers. It's a 3-round burst. It's going to have a clip size of 18, which means you are going to get quite a few shots off with it, 6 to be exact. The damage is sitting at 23, which I know is going to sound quite low compared to most snipers, but believe me, when I show you this thing in action, you're going to be like, holy cow, that thing is special. Now, what else am I running on my character right now within the demo? I'm basically spec'd into bonus firepower and some anomaly power wherever I can be. However, for the most optimized version of this, of course, you want to run maximum firepower in every slot, like nothing else. Now, as I go up to Gorse here to show you guys the damage that this thing can output, I want to talk about some mods that you might want on this sniper instead of the Shield Maiden mod, because let's face it, the best sniper class in this game when it comes out is most likely going to be the Technomancer. So maybe you're going to want this on your Technomancer, and since we'll be able to transfer weapons between characters, you're probably going to want to put this on your Technomancer instead. So it begs the question, what would I want on this for my Technomancer instead of Shield Maiden? And I think the answer is very simple. Assuming that it can roll on weapons, and I'm pretty sure that it can, I think what you really want on this sniper is going to be vulnerable, because that's going to make it so that when you're hitting enemies, you're triggering even more weakness on them, making them take a lot more damage. So that's what I would say you're going to want on this thing. However, don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure that this thing can roll with vulnerable, but if it can, that's what I would say to roll on it. If not, maybe something like cryo rounds, but then again, you've got your turret to do that, so it is kind of tricky. Maybe Inferno as well, that could be handy for you too. But yeah, like I said, don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure what this thing can roll with as of right now. But let's waste no more time. Let's take a look at what this thing can do to our good friend Gorse here. With one mag, I'm going to try and not miss any of my shots. and let's see how much damage we can inflict on him. So I'm going to put my bubble down. This is going to give me weakness, so I take less damage. Hit him with my blade, and I did miss the second burst here. But as you can see, if I had hit all 4 of them, I probably would have got him in 1 mag. So unfortunately, we were unable to get the 1 shot on Gorse. But as you guys can see, in a normal mobbing scenario, this thing is just absolutely crazy in terms of the damage that it can output and how well it can output that damage as well. I think that's important to mention as well. The only complaint I have with this one, and I'm not sure if it's the same on all of the Rising Tide snipers, but the sight on this thing, I am not a huge fan of. It seems to be too zoomed in for my liking, so I don't know if there's an iron sight version. I really hope there is. Now, I want to talk about something that someone in my stream brought up when I was able to find this thing, and that was, is this better than the iceberg? You know, the legendary sniper, which freezes enemies and also makes the frozen enemies explode when you kill them. And I think, honestly, the iceberg might be a little better depending on the character you're on. However, for the Trickster, I know that I would rather run this over the iceberg any day. But again, that's just me, and not everyone has the same playstyles. But it is also important to remember that the iceberg is a bolt action and the Rising Tide is not. It's a 3-round burst, and for your playstyle, that might not be your thing, which is totally fine as well. You know, you don't have to like it. But for me, I don't really have an issue with it, which is why I prefer to run it over something like the iceberg. Also, I can't get the iceberg because my legendary luck in this game is non-existent. But let me know what you guys think of this gun in the comment section down below. Have you been lucky enough to get it? If you did get it, have you been lucky enough to get it with what, again, in my opinion, is just an absolute god roll? And once again, very soon I will have a video coming out showing you guys the best way to farm these vendors and also some of the loot that can drop inside of them, so make sure you stick around for that. But on that note, thank you guys so much for watching the video, really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.